everyone was raping nowadays, or that then.
Yeah.
It was culturally acceptable. He was a hero, really.
Tumblr was like autistic Reddit.
Jokes are like airplanes. Not all of them are going to land. Sometimes you hit a building or two.
We do a little trolling. It's called We Do a Little Trolling.
What's up, guys?
What is up, my female dogs?
What up, bruh? What up, homie?
What's up, my G?
This is really stupid trying to like not swear
I know, it's really hard.
for the first. How long do we have to go? Like without swearing in a video?
Well,
I've seen people go. I've seen people say like 30 seconds, and then it went up. Right now, it's like the first 5 minutes or some shit.
So yeah, it was 30 seconds, and that's why usually I'll bleep out our intros unless I'm feeling lazy and then I don't give a fuck. But I think with the whole new YouTube update was 5 minutes.
Solid. I directed that directly, and I was like, "Bleh."
I appreciate the call of my bet.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking. You know what? And it's just because YouTube's being a bunch of.
Oh, keep it
Yeah.
going.
Fucking.
Bitch, tit, bitch, tit, fuck.
I ran out of slurs. Just
Shit,
fucking-
bitch, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, tits, fart, turd, and twat.
I fucked your mom. Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be a lot.
Yeah.
Nah, actually,
That didn't go
maybe
exactly as probably you would have hoped for editing purposes, but
Not. At least I got 2 days off this week.
yeah. Fuck. Oh, to be back again. Yeah, that was hilarious earlier today. I had to text Cody and let him know that we recorded an episode 2 weeks ago that never went up, and neither of us fucking knew about it until today. So sorry about that.
We pay a lot of attention, guys.
Yeah, I saw it like, I was like, oh, this one has views and this one has view. Why? There's a 0 on here. That doesn't make sense. We didn't get a single view on this for this episode. We just got 0 views. And then I saw there's like a little red, dot that's indicator it was never published. Oh, oops. So that
We're
is
not popular, but 0 views is pretty
Yeah.
low for us.
yeah.
I
0
don't-
views is like what?
I don't think we've ever had an episode with 0 views.
No, never.
Not a one.
Not a single one. So yeah, that was a little concerning, but it's up now. So if you want, you can double feature. We got this episode coming up, and then you threw what at a bike or something.
That was a good episode too.
Yeah.
I'm kind of pissed that I didn't I don't. At least I think that one was kind of timeless. I
Well,
don't think we did a whole lot of
yeah.
current events with it.
I mean, probably a little bit knowing us, but that's fine. I mean, if it was a funny episode, it'll stand on its own, I guess. But I think the only current event we probably talked about in that one, honestly, was the Andrew Taint.
Did you just try to correct yourself and
Andrew
then fuck it up?
Tate stuff? Andrew Tate.
Was that in that episode?
I think it was.
We didn't know a whole lot.
It would line
We
up
still
like
don't, but
time wise, right? For when that happened. About 2-ish
couple
weeks
of
ago.
Yeah, no, I get probably makes
Almost
sense.
3 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. Yeah. But more shit's come out about that now. Or like I've heard more things, I guess. Like things have been cleared up.
We've read some headlines about things.
Right. I skimmed a few headlines.
Andrew Tate, rapist, misogynist, and hero. That's all I really got from the headlines.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was basically the gist I got. It was yeah, he's a role model, first of all.
Yeah, no, I do aspire.
He's right. Bitches ain't shit. And
They ain't shit.
you do have to keep these hoes in line.
Keep your pimp hand strong.
Bro, he's so fucking gross. Lit-
I'd kill to be in his shoes, though.
oh yeah.
I wouldn't.
I
Act
mean,
like,
not
I mean,
not
like,
the like if allegedly if any of the trafficking shit is true, that leave that out. But
I wouldn't take that side road. But
take the path less traveled.
Well, I
that
guess
could be
that-
applied to so much shit today. Just like, man, that didn't age well. take the road less traveled. I'm gonna become an extreme right wing Nazi.
I'm pretty sure that's pretty well traveled by this point.
You think?
I mean, as far
Like,
as the
there's
news media would let
Obviously, way more.
concern.
There's way more like far left people.
Well, yeah, but
And I think there's still like and more leftists and more rightists, but I think that like extreme right is definitely the minority.
so the extreme right it's always like amped up in the media, and every time it's been, I don't want to say every time. I can't think of another time, but it's always bullshit. It's not extreme right.
Not always, but sometimes.
Like
A
They
weird
all-
amount of times, yeah.
everything is Nazi. Like,
I'm a Nazi, you a Nazi, we are Nazis. Okay, let's chill.
I don't know why you turned into a
I know.
fucking Muppet Hitler. Sound like the
Elmo is Nazi.
me want cookie, me want Jew,
Me want final solution.
me want alien.
Oh, big my struggle.
People nowadays are so stupid and uncultured. I really want to just write a book called My Struggle in English.
Somebody called. There was a book that was released. I think it was. I don't know if I'm gonna get this right, but I think it was like some kind of annotated version of Mein Kampf that was called "The Greatest Story Never Told." Adolf Hitler, the greatest story never told.
Oh God.
And there's a Hulu.
Was the prologue from Kanye?
Literally, there's a Hulu piece coming out that's like the 1619 Project or something. It's about it. They're like rewriting American history from the black perspective.
Well, I mean, the 1819 project has been. I think it's
1619.
Is it 16?
Yeah, I have no idea why.
Maybe it is. I don't know. I thought it was 1819.
They were here first.
Well, yeah, with our permission.
No, like we didn't discover America until 1642.
Well, I wouldn't say we.
Whatever. That rapist Columbus.
Everyone was raping nowadays, or that then.
Yeah.
It was culturally acceptable. He was a hero, really.
Yeah. Yeah, I think about that a lot. How many people in history would have been Andrew Tates? You know what I mean? Or how many people in history are Andrew Tates, and how many people in history were just like, I don't know.
Bro, good old
Like-
TJ,
TJ.
Thomas Jefferson. You know how many half black kids he had?
Yeah, the dude was laying pipe. No, but you know what I mean? Like when you're
I own that ass, and I mean it.
oh my god. Oh no. Well, okay, wait. So the point of that was to say that piece is being called 1619 or something, like the greatest story never told. So people are on Twitter just fucking lighting up the comment section with pictures of that book, Hitler, the greatest story never told, and saying some shit like I prefer the original.
That's fantastic.
There's a lot of people on there like, oh, I love fiction pieces or historical fiction. Which I don't
It
like.
is-
I haven't even seen it yet. I don't know if they've seen it yet. I don't even know if it's out yet.
Well, so
They're just like jumping on this. It seemed like if it's not out yet, they're just jumping on this bandwagon of like, this is about black people, so it's bad.
no, so I mean, very possibly because it's the internet. I'm not going
Right.
to speak for those people.
More specifically, it's Twitter.
The dumpster fire of the internet, which is saying something because
No.
there's Reddit.
Yeah, I was gonna say no.
Like-
There's Reddit,
But so
and then there's 4chan, the autistic dumpster fire.
I think that got shut down,
4chan?
or maybe it was 8chan. Why?
Or
Are
not?
There so
I'm not
many
thinking
chans?
of. Not 4chan. Tumblr, which Tumblr did get shut down, huh?
Did it?
Yeah, Tumblr's gone. I think
I don't know. That was a very emo girl website.
Tumblr was like autistic Reddit, which is saying something.
But for emo girls.
Yeah.
I don't know a single dude that had a Tumblr. Unless
I
he
knew
was
dudes
also
who
an
had
emo
Tumblrs.
girl. Or trying
I
to
don't
get
really
in
think
the
it was
pants of
emo
an emo
girls.
girl.
It was like hipster girls there at the end.
It was
A hipster thing to have a Tumblr.
like
All right, back on
yeah,
track.
anyways.
Andrew Tate.
Oh no. 1619 Project.
Oh yeah.
So with that, like there's the 1619 Project is an actual like I think they're an organization
Oh.
technically.
Okay.
Are
Are they a
and-
Black History organization or?
Yes, but not well. Like
They fill in a lot of their own gaps.
not even that. Like there are some things that they just straight up didn't research. It's like
Okay.
reading some of the shit that they write is like
It's like the
trying to-
Hoteps.
Yes, and also like I mean, along with the Hoteps, like when you
They're
read it,
rewriting history.
when you read it, it sounds like when you gave a 5th grader, like, hey, do this report on this historical thing, and also give your opinion on it and what actually happened. So take a couple
So
facts.
it's all opinion pieces then. It's not.
It's opinion stated as fact, and also they twist the fact. Like I'd have to.
So, okay, so that actually does sound like historical fiction.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Because usually
essentially it is.
historical fiction's based around something that was, an actual event or something, and they just make up a storyline to go into that event. Is usually how historical fiction works.
That's
Usually,
what
I mean,
they-
there's like obviously there's like alternate histories and shit like that, or is it more of an alternate history thing? Like, again, I have no idea what this is, so I'm not sitting here like saying that's what they're doing. I'm just trying to educate myself.
so
I came to the wrong place. but-
from. So did you. It's not all completely wrong. Like I'm not going to say like, oh, they're a bunch of. They're literally making up shit.
oh, okay.
I think that they believe it, but it's from. They draw their own conclusions on what happened because this thing bad and I read this thing, so this is obviously what happened. Kind of like how
Mhm.
history has been for the past
So
few
okay,
years.
that could be like construed as like a historical hypothesis. Like that sounds like a grad paper.
But it's not the way that they are stating it as. Like it's not well, these are the conclusions I'm drawing. This is what happened. I heard this one thing and this happened and this happened and this
Okay.
happened. Like it's like a
So,
flat
like,
earther.
Let me hey, I can actually use my degree here. So
Solid.
when I wrote my thesis or whatever for my history degree, you go through and it's not an opinion piece. It's a historical research paper, but you have to like answer a question or,
you have to give a thesis on.
You have to
true
give
fact.
you have to. It's like science. It's very similar to the scientific process. Like you have to give a hypothesis, and then back it up with research that supports that
Right,
hypothesis. It differs from science in that you could have somebody not be able to reproduce your findings based on their worldview or their, you know what I mean, like the way that their brain works
Right. It's an
could differ from yours enough to change the entire point of the thesis, or the entire point of not the point, but like the entire findings, conclusions that you would draw from something. Like I might say, I wrote my thesis about the Christianization of Scandinavia, right?
right.
And my hypothesis was that it was for, let me see if I can remember here. It was for security. One, women's protection of women. And
Lame.
what was the other one? It was basically and a lot of political shit. Like you can't be crusaded against if you're a part of their religion, which is something that actually happened. Like if you got crusaded against, you had the option to convert as a state
Right.
and not be crusaded against. So that was like
It's join our cult or we'll kill you.
that was something. Yeah, that was something that happened a lot. But
But yeah, you're giving your.
I went through and like I can't say for sure that those are the reasons that they all converted. And I, in fact, dug up a lot of evidence that went against my hypothesis in the course of my research. And I had to include those things. I'd be like, well,
Right.
this is my hypothesis. This is all the shit that backs it. These are the things that say that I might be wrong.
Right.
And I include all that shit so that you can make that distinction and draw your own conclusion, I guess, for my paper.
You're writing essentially what is an undergrad argumentative style paper. You're
Not an
using-
argumentative paper.
Well, but it is argumentative because you're saying we have this and this is why. You're stating your fact, but you're bringing in the logos. You bring in the logos, straight fact, ethos, pathos. Like you throw those in
There's
there.
less
sprinkle 'em
pathos
in.
though.
Well, yes,
It's
but you sprinkle 'em.
not that you say I believe that this happened because of this, and this. It's more you could see how this would happen possibly because of this, and it's not. This is my personal opinion. It's one could draw the conclusion.
Right.
It's more in that vein of like this is not my personal beliefs. This is not my personal moralities or whatever. It's the way that human history has always functioned. These are the conclusions that could be drawn by somebody.
Right. And so, that's why I brought up the argumentative paper, because I wrote something similar, not similar in like the overall vein of it, of how mental illness is the last leg of fuck, why did I just forget the word? But
Religion.
No. Same thing.
I mean,
But
epilepsy.
no, mental illness is the newest / last leg of illness for like killing off humans. Like humans have to have a natural predator in life. And so the way I was stating it was I brought in Gaia theory, which has somewhat been debunked, but not really. But I brought that in, and then I also brought in how it could have been debunked. But I brought in like we've cured all of these physical illnesses and we've cured or figured out ways around like predators attacking us, like. But the earth,
Well,
and
I mean, there's a lot of kids out there getting touched, but
wrong type of predator. My bad.
we figured out how to get away from the lions. We didn't figure out your neighbor Steve.
Cougars are fine either
Although
way.
we really did. Like if they have a they have a handlebar mustache, just stay away. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna just start playing Pictionary with if I were to ever have kids, like just start drawing a fucking pedo 80s mustache, be like, and what is this?
Right.
Predator!
What do? Run!
Pervert! Kick him in the balls!
Right. Shoot him dead!
Into the wood chipper!
Yeah. Oh, so back to sexual predators.
I'm taking that one out of context.
You're gonna throw that one at the beginning of the
Yep.
episode. Anyway, back to sexual predators. Yeah, we just did like 15 dry ass minutes of interesting conversation, but
So back to sexual predators.
yeah,
R.
nobody's here
Kelly.
for that. Andrew Tate.
Oh, same thing.
Yeah, here there was a weird thing about Andrew Tate where like every once in a while he would actually say something that you're like, it's a pretty good point.
I would okay, so I would say it was more than
But
like listening to him like on podcasts, like he was on Your Mom's House.
I'd just like to say there's a huge but in there. And
Yes.
we'll get to it.
Oh, I will too. Like most I don't even want to say most, but like a lot of the things that he said were good advice and just like it was kind of hard love. That's bad. That's bad wording for what we're getting into. But he spoke a lot of truth and shit that isn't really spoken about, like actually being masculine in a good way, not the other shit.
I would disagree with you on that point.
Well, like just having masculinity, I would have to bring up the clips, but like he's talked about good shit.
I think anything of value as far as masculinity goes that he has said was already said. You know, like anything that he's had to say about masculinity has been said by Jordan Peterson and in a better way.
Well, okay, yes. But
Like he's not doing any groundbreaking work there. I think what I'm talking about is like his comparisons between the way that like women move through the world versus the way that men move through the world.
oh, absolutely.
Where I disagree with him is obviously
Selling
and-
women.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, really though. Like he seems to legitimately believe that women are less and like women are like pieces of property to be traded. I know, haha. That's hilarious. They are. But no, but
It's funny because it's true.
no, but like, you know, like as somebody with sisters, right? You can like get behind that feeling of like that's not how I want somebody talking about like my sister.
I mean, how many
You know what I
goats
mean?
are you giving me?
Exactly. I didn't get a single goat. So equal rights, equal fights. That's all I'm saying.
But and so like that's where with Andrew Tate and like why he did become kind of a role model. I don't think you should really look up to this guy like a 13 not prepubescent. I guess you're going through puberty at that point, but
Dude, doesn't he remind you of somebody that we know? Like looks wise and kind of like autistically?
is he Asian?
No.
Who is
He's a bald white man that we know.
he? That was my second thought, but I was trying to go skin color. I was like, maybe, but no, I got it.
You're like, I can easily see them swapping places for a day.
It's a brown Mr. Clean. But like he became a role model because in today's society, like men are put down. Like for the most part, like
Yeah, it is evil to be a man.
sometimes for good reason. Like
Yeah.
But it's all over. Like that's the only fucking thing these kids hear anymore is like you're
Yeah.
born a male or
It's-
straight white male, and so you're automatically the fucking devil. And so they heard something that was like, oh, like maybe I'm not as bad as everyone's portraying me. So they grabbed onto that.
Well, just like, okay, take it into a historical context, right? Like, 40 years from now, white people will be a minority. And that's just like trajectory wise. I think it's even less than that, actually.
Does that mean that I get extra help?
No.
For being a minority.
But here's where I'm getting is like eventually white people will become a minority. And then sometime after that, like it will become about, you know, white rights. And like that's a thing that's going to happen at some point eventually.
White is right. White.
We were here first. But looking back historically, like you could say like, I mean, and people do all the time, the Jews' persecution of Islamic people and Islamic people's persecution of the Jews.
And then Germany came in and fucked the whole thing.
Like neither of those are like hated groups right now for, well, I guess the Jews.
Depends.
Yeah.
Are you in Palestine?
But I mean, historically, like they're not, I guess, okay, that was a bad example, but eventually it will come to the point where like the sides will swap a little bit. And then we're kind of in this point where we're preaching hatred of what will become a minority. You know what I mean? So like we're going to enter a period where like blatant racism versus a minority is going to be socially acceptable again. It's just going to be white people instead. You know what I mean?
Hasn't that kind of
happened?
Like,
we're getting closer and closer every day.
We're not a minority yet.
I mean, I still have a good credit score, but
I still get off with a warning.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like we're getting to that point where like that is going to be the reality. Now. Never mind.
Say it.
No.
Say it. Say it.
No.
Say it.
No, I can't.
Basically,
it's a good point,
saying,
but I can't.
But basically what you're saying is we need our own MLK, a Martin Luther Queen.
No, just like
Martin Luther Jack.
I just don't like the preaching of hate that's happening, you know what I mean? In general, towards anybody. I just don't like, you know, we hate this group. And it's not like the white race needs somebody to like help them, you know, or like, oh, we need to stand up for ourselves. Like, it's whatever, dude. I really don't care.
We don't stand up for ourselves. We have lawyers for that.
We had a really good run. So, I mean, we can't like be that upset, but I'm just saying, you know, the open, like, you're fucking horrible because of, you know, the way you were born is kind of, I don't know, kind of what they're teaching against, right?
Well, yes, and that's the problem. It's like, no, you shouldn't hate a certain group. You should hate everyone because all people are fucking assholes.
Well, I think you should hate people who have earned it. You know what I mean? Like,
I've earned it. You should hate me.
You can hate the lady at the grocery store because she's a fucking Karen.
I have had enough of the Karen thing. No, she's not a Karen. She's just a fucking cunt.
Yeah, it's just a nicer way of saying it.
Why should we be nice? They're not.
9 times out of 10, she is white. But that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, if I'm taking the over-under, definitely going white.
Yeah, there's a shitty lady at the grocery store. She's 9 times out of 10 white. But it is, you know, it's a stereotype. You should hate somebody for the way that they act, not the way that they were born.
Like people that touch children. I don't care if you're black, brown, or black. Black, brown, or black. Black, brown, or white. No, wow. I fucked that up. I don't care.
Yeah. Wow.
I'ma hate you. Well, I'll hate you for a little bit until I throw you
I'm in danger
of cancellation, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hate you until I throw you into the wood chipper, and then I'm gonna feel good about myself and probably go.
You're still talking about pedophiles, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
No.
Okay. Just wanted to clarify.
Of all races.
Yeah.
Even Antarcticans.
How do we get out of this topic?
Oh, we don't. This is a fucking black hole, baby.
Yeah, this was not
wow,
something
that
we were
sounds
qualified to
racially
talk about.
insensitive.
Ooh, all right. Hey,
Why is it always a black hole? Why is it never a white hole? Because that would
not gonna get into that.
I was gonna go into the astrophysics and I was like, I don't know how to make that funny.
Yeah. So, but what I have heard is now it's something more along the lines of like tax evasion.
Pedophilia?
No, the what Andrew Tate was arrested for. One, I've heard now that the whole pizza box thing was bullshit. They
Yeah, no, that
they
was
didn't track him
totally-
down based on the pizza box.
That was totally made up by like some random fucking reporter.
Yeah.
Who's made up shit before and still has a job. Don't know how the fuck that happened.
Yeah, I don't like the Romanian authorities already knew he was there. Like they were planning it well before he released that video.
He was literally like posting on his Instagram about being in Romania before that whole thing. Like
Yeah.
a day or two before. Like I know our intelligence agencies are stupid, but they're not that bad. Well,
Right.
Okay, American intelligence might be that bad.
I will say I heard though that in I think it was 2015 he was on
Big Brother.
Big Brother.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that?
Well, so I knew about it beforehand, and then I heard about like now they're coming out and like this is why he was actually kicked off.
Well, yeah, from what I heard, like so he was kicked off originally because they said he came to them and like let them know that something was going to come out about a video that came out.
So that was secondary. Like the original fuck, I can't even remember the original story. But there was an original story about like how the producers just wanted him off because of how polarizing he was.
Well,
and out there, like I mean, basically what's happening now.
right.
And then after the whole arrest, now they're coming out saying that, oh, well, he was kicked off the show because he said, hey, this might be coming up. And then they kicked him off because of this sexual misconduct.
Well, so from what I heard, it was originally he let them know, hey, this is going to be coming out. It was a video of him and a girl like doing basically like he was knocking her around a little bit, and it was a fetish video essentially is what it was, and it was from her account. From what I heard from her account, it was consensual. The whole thing.
It was consensual.
It was a fetish video. But then what I heard was the actual reason that he was kicked off was he was brought up on rape charges in the UK, which were dropped, which were unrelated to the video.
I did hear something about that. Who just drops rape charges? Like I know about like women not coming forward.
I mean,
about
if he had money back then, he might have paid her off.
I mean, if you got your dues.
Damn.
I had to.
Damn. Just said it. You didn't even.
Oh no!
You didn't even hesitate. You just said it.
No, I thought about it. It was going through my head. I was like, I shouldn't say this. I'm going to.
It was like jumping on the what is that fucking thing that spins around on the playground? Merry-go-round. Yeah.
Is that?
It's like jumping on the merry-go-round, or it's like jumping into double dutch. You were like, all right. Ah, fuck it.
We're sending this bitch.
Yeah. Come on, get in or get out. Yeah.
Listen, people. Jokes are like airplanes. Not all of them are going to land. Sometimes you hit a building or two.
Yeah, sometimes they're hijacked by the CIA.
I mean, George Bush. I mean, Taliban.
Bro, 9/11 conspiracy theorists are a different fucking breed, man.
I like them.
Yeah, I mean,
because I don't trust any of our government.
They're fun people, but oof. I like flat earthers, man. It's just like
you had me in the first part.
I like where your heart's at, but you sound like a fucking tard.
some of these things are easily proven with travel or Google Maps.
Right. Yeah. But, praying for Andrew. Hope he makes it makes it through. Thoughts and prayers. I think I killed Cody.
Oh, that was a bad time to finish a drink. Holy fuck.
Thoughts and prayers. I went and saw the new Avatar movie this weekend.
That's how you're transitioning.
Yeah, dude, I want out. I want out of this so bad.
Speaking of people who were invaded wrongly, Avatar.
So I went into it hearing mixed, very, very mixed reviews. Some being like, it's obviously it's a masterpiece. It's James Cameron, it's the man's shit's gold. And then, obviously on the other side of the spectrum, the story was shit and it didn't make any sense and it progressed the story nowhere. I think I landed somewhere in the middle after seeing it, where I would say the story was shit. No, that's not. The story was better than the first one. I'd definitely say that.
Really?
Yeah, the story was better than the first one.
I've heard. I haven't seen
The
it.
first one's story was shit, though.
I like the first one because of like how it was actually produced and how it came out. Like that was a realistic CGI, like full CGI, like best CGI since fucking, or special effects since like George Lucas, like originally came out with it as far as the times go.
Yeah.
And so like that, I like that one for that. The story was but it was a spectacle to watch.
It was groundbreaking. This one not quite as like groundbreaking as far as that stuff goes. It's pretty on par with the first one. It was a little better, like graphically, I guess, but visually.
I heard it was little more cartoony than the first one.
Well, so there were parts, like there's parts where you're just like, fuck, that's fucking cool. Like the parts he had in the first one where you're just like, God damn, how did they even do that? And then there's parts where like a lot of the battle scenes, especially like where there's fighting, like shit looked like fucking Call of Duty, man. Like it did not look good.
Solid.
Like especially what caught my eye were like dead bodies flying. It just didn't look right. You know what I mean? Like they were very blurred and just not motioning right.
They were,
if that makes sense. They weren't ragdolling enough.
well, I feel like
it almost looked like they had a JPEG of a dead body and just kind of dragged it off the screen.
What I kind of heard was like, especially with the dead bodies, like it was basically like they took a fucking crash test dummy and threw it with a green suit on so they could CGI the face and the body onto it and just like, fuck it.
That's kind of how it looked. Yeah.
Okay.
I could totally see that being how they actually did it, because it was so infuriating because it would go back and forth. And I think part of the problem was like the Real D 3D bullshit. Like we went and saw it in that Real D 3D whatever, which by the way sucks.
That's always been shit.
I fucking hate it, dude. And it's more expensive, and it's like, it just gives me a headache. Like I had to leave halfway through the movie for a while just to like take my glasses off and like let my head chill, because I was starting to get a fucking headache. I don't think that helped. I think the movie would look better on like a 4K TV, like high resolution, high refresh rate, that kind of thing.
Right, not a giant fucking projector with 3D glasses.
Right, where everything's fuzzy when you take glasses off. I don't think that's a good way to watch it. So, and supposedly it was shot to be watched that way. but it did not come across that way.
So the one thing that I will, obviously haven't seen it, but from a production standpoint, they shot so much because it was Way of the Water or whatever the fuck it is. They shot so much of that actually underwater. Like the actors learned to hold their breath for like 2+ minutes at a time to fucking shoot this, and that
So-
is what I'll that's great acting. The production I heard was ass.
I'll say I saw that, like the whole like behind the scenes thing of them like training in the Navy pool or
Right.
whatever and all that. That doesn't come across in the movie. Like it could have all been CGI'd.
Which sucks because
The practicality of it does not come across.
it could have been stupidly immersive. Like having people that will actually go that length of learning to hold their breath for that long to act, like
Yeah.
that's method acting at its best. And if you can't put it into the end product, it sucks because you had the talent and you couldn't produce the result.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. The story was okay. The graphics / visuals were just, they were on par, I would say, with the first one. Maybe a little better, but there were definitely parts where it was just like, what the fuck? And then there were like just straight up things in the movie that were just not good. Like the whole interaction between they bring back the guy, spoiler alerts, they bring back the bad guy from the first one, but he's like basically cloned himself as one of the natives. Like they took a copy of his DNA before he died and a brain upload and then uploaded it into one of the like native copies that they grow.
Neuralink, but for Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, basically. And he wasn't a good villain in the first one. I don't know why they like chose to carry that on. And I know it's like part of a continuous thing where he's supposedly filmed all three kind of simultaneously.
But they didn't. They didn't even end up doing that.
Well, apparently they rolled into the second, like they've been filming this one since before the other one came out. But also, I think they focused on the first one and then like once they proof of concept it, started on the other two because they filmed the one that just came out and then the next one that's going to come out simultaneously.
Oh, okay.
No, so like the next one, it was like what, fucking 12 years since the first one came out or some shit.
I don't think
10 years?
Maybe it has been.
12 years?
No, it came out.
I feel like it's been that long.
I was going to say 2014, but you might.
I think it was like
might have been
2012
earlier.
or something.
You might be right on that.
And then this one comes out in 2022, end of 2022, beginning of 2023. The next one I think is only going to be a year or two away.
Well, I mean, if it fucking... I haven't heard, like, with the first Avatar, people were enthralled with it. I have not heard anyone that's like, I would go watch that in theaters again. Like, I haven't had a single review like that.
I wouldn't. I might watch it again when it comes out on some kind of streaming service, but I wouldn't go see it again in the theater. You know what? I take that back. No, I wouldn't, simply for the fact that it's a fucking 3 hour and 20 minute movie. It's just, I'm not doing that again.
That is stupid. Like, I understand you're trying to build a story and do all this fucking magnificent bullshit and prove that you've got the biggest dick in the producing world. But come on. You're already breaking it into 3 parts. Take a book out of the Twilight series, out of Harry Potter, like part 1 and 2 it, release them within a year. Don't fucking make a 3.5 hour fucking movie.
Well, and it's like, if I'm gonna watch a 3.5 hour movie, I'm gonna watch a 3.5 hour movie that has an amazing story. You know what I mean? Because if you're sitting for 3.5 hours, the novelty of like, whoa, that looks so cool, it wears off pretty quick.
Right, like you have to
either constantly be one-upping yourself in that department, or, and that's only a one-trick pony. Like, if you're constantly re-upping or upping yourself in that department, you know, you can start slow with like some, wow, that's cool, and then build and build and build into like, wow, that's awesome, that's fucking sick by the end. Okay, now I've seen it. I'm not going to go see it again. I'm not going to watch it again when it comes out, you know?
Right. And like you have to have a great storyline to where like someone could take the script of this whole movie and just read it like a book nonstop. Like that is what they're invested in. You have to have the visuals. You have to have a build, like you have to have a build to the climax.
James Cameron needs to sit down with Peter Jackson and figure out where the fuck he went wrong. Because they're, as far as like cinematography, effects, visuals, and the best representation, I'll give it to him. He had a books to work from. He wasn't coming up with an original story, but for telling an amazing story, it's still 3+ hours with amazing visuals. Lord of the Rings blows fucking Avatar out of the fucking water.
So, all right. I completely agree. As a cinematographer, you have to, whether you have a pre-written book and fandom, whatever, or you're creating this from scratch, like you have, as the cinematographer and producer, you have to know when to cut things short. Honestly, this professor is the reason that I dropped out of college, because he failed me for political reasons and I didn't want to deal with that bullshit. But he was a great English professor. And one of the best things that he told me was an anecdote about a father and his 2 sons, whatever. But was
he trying to diddle you?
I mean, he did, but I mean, the story still
and you
holds
still
up.
failed? Imagine fucking blowing the professor and still failing the class.
I did not blow him.
All right, you let him blow you, whatever.
He touched it and was like, well, this isn't that big. It's like, I know, but you didn't have to say it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm into kids, but fuck, this is small.
But
anyway,
he gave the anecdote about a father and his 2 sons, and it was go write a story or whatever it was. Both of the kids came back to the father and handed him the story. He's like, great, now half as much. Same quality, but now half as much. They kept doing it. And that was the whole thing, is you have to in order to tell a good story, you have to be able to
break it down to its fundamental.
Well, but you have to have the good story plot and get rid of all of the shit where you just lose people. Where it's like, okay, now make that half as same or the same or twice the quality and half as many words. And that's how you keep people enthralled. And that's why James Cameron hasn't done great in the past fucking how many years? Probably since Avatar 1, honestly.
Has he done anything since Avatar?
I'm
1?
sure he has.
What is James Cameron on besides? Is he on Transformers? Is that James Cameron?
No, that's Michael Bay.
Oh.
Michael Bay
Fuck you,
loves
James Cameron. I thought you were Michael Bay. That's some serious shade. Was that James Cameron? No, that was Michael Bay. Ooh. That's bad that I thought that those were comparable. Yo, props to Michael Bay, dude. Like, I just fucking, he said, he did crack and just said, I don't care what anybody thinks. I'm going to keep putting these fucking movies out.
Add an explosion.
Yeah.
And Mark Wahlberg.
Right. Hey, Shia LaBeouf's out. Who do we get? More explosions. Well, we need a celebrity. Mark Wahlberg. I don't know.
Marky Mark, baby.
Yeah. Marky Mark, baby. Yeah, no, seriously. What has James Cameron done since Avatar 1? Is it just been him working on Avatar 2?
I'm sure he's done other
He
shit.
He has to have done other shit.
I mean, there are fucking producers and directors that are working on 3 to 4 movies at a time.
Well, to be fair, he was working on 2 Avatars at the same time, so maybe he's just been getting paid to do that since 2010 or whenever the first one came out.
I mean, if you can get paid for it, fuck it. Like, get your bag, but it's not good.
Oh, and they had a they had a preview, like in the in the previews.
The preview where
yeah.
you find the previews.
For their re-releasing Titanic again, but
What?
like
redoing it or remastering.
it's remastered and re-release. They're
Like-
gonna remaster and re-release it.
So like with Leonardo DiCaprio and
Kate
what's her
Winslet.
nuts? Yeah, Winslet.
Yeah,
They're just
it's the same movie.
remastering it.
Yeah, they do it every couple of years. Like every time the technology progresses, they re-release Titanic in the new technologies. Shit.
I've literally never watched the Titanic. And I really don't care to. All I care about is that there was fucking room for Jack on that fucking door.
Basically, all he's done since Avatar. Dude, Avatar came out in 2009.
Fucking what?
Yeah, the first one came out in 2009.
It's been
16
No.
years.
What year do you think it is?
2023.
So you think 9 plus 16?
14? I don't fucking know. Wait. 14 years. It's been 14
Yes,
years.
yes.
That's
That is
insane.
the correct number.
There's a kid going into high school that was born when the first Avatar came out.
Well, now that you put it that way, it hurts my soul a bit.
But basically, since then, he's just been doing-
2000 fucking
James
9?
James Cameron's done all the Terminator movies.
He has? So is James Cameron a director or a producer? Because Michael Bay definitely made the Transformer or directed the Transformer movies.
I said Terminator.
I thought you said Transformer.
No, Terminator.
So he's made shit movies since 2009?
He did.
The last good Terminator was Terminator 2.
He did Terminator Genesis, Terminator Dark Fate.
Shit. I never actually saw it, but shit.
This is Terminator 2 remake with Joseph Bana.
Probably shit.
Oh, they like reshot, or they put Arnold Schwarzenegger's face or his son's face over. They put Arnold Schwarzenegger's son's face over Arnold Schwarzenegger's face for Terminator 2. They like reshot a scene. He did a bunch of like Terminator short. He really hasn't done much.
Fuck James Cameron.
He did damn, dude, he was really just a fucking nobody before Avatar. Like, look, all this shit is like shorts and like B movies. Obviously he was Alien in Titanic. He did the Alien series and Titanic. He didn't even do the Alien series. He did Alien 2. The first Alien was a different person. He was on the first Alien, I think, but he was like as in a different role.
Did he at least do AVP?
Oh, he was on the Terminator.
Oh,
He did the Rambo. He did Rambo First Blood Part 2.
I mean, it's
But
better than
he
the
was
other
a-
shit he's done.
I don't know. Yeah, James Cameron's a fucking nobody.
The problem is
Titanic. It's
he's-
Titanic and Avatar 1 are his biggest hits, and other than that, it's been shorts and B movies.
he's not a nobody though, and that's a problem because I did not realize he directed that little.
Yeah, you should go look up his IMDb, dude. It's not. I mean, it's impressive in that
He's got big
his big hits
fucking
are
names.
Avatar and Titanic, and Alien, but
Alien 2.
Alien 2. Well, I think he's done the whole Alien series since Alien 2, but any Alien movies that come out are James Cameron since then, I think. But he really has a very unimpressive history. Anyway, my
Also, all of these movies are way too fucking long.
yeah, this is true.
The guy doesn't know how to cut fucking fat.
It's a good fucking observation there, Cody. Fucking Titanic's on 2 goddamn VHSs.
Yeah, and
2 or 3.
No, I think
was
it was
2.
2, but it was one of the first fucking movies to ever come with a box set.
Yeah,
That-
it was. Well,
Heads up, Gen Z. This is where box set came from. Was you literally had a box because you had multiple fucking videos that you had to put into the VCR player.
I think obviously Lord of the Rings was one of them, one of the box set ones that had 2 VHSs.
Right.
I can't think of any other ones.
But that one's good, and I also haven't seen it, but I know it stands up.
I'm looking up movies that came out 2 VHSs.
Does anyone listening to our podcast know what Be Kind Rewind means? And what store it came from? Because if you don't, you're probably too fucking young. Actually, no. Jesus fucking Christ.
Ooh, do you remember the movie VHS?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
The horror movie?
Yeah, I want to
Yeah.
watch that. I haven't seen that in a minute.
Bro, I'm down.
Dude, that whole series is fucked. Fucked up. VHS was fucked. VHS 2 was like, I don't know. It was like fucked, but almost cheesy. Kind of fucked.
It did a repeat, but not in a good way.
It was like the first one came out and it was like, what the fuck? And then the second one came out and it was like, they're just kind of troping their own tropes, like they're using their own tropes that they created in the first one. Almost.
It was kind of like, so Insidious 1
Mhm.
scared the shit out of everyone.
Yeah.
Insidious 2, everyone was over it.
Yeah, pretty much. I'd say Insidious even had a longer run than VHS. Because they changed it up a little bit. Like,
Yeah, but
Insidious was one of those that almost seemed like it was set up to always only ever be one movie, and they kind of made it a series because the first one did so well. You know what I mean? Like, I think Insidious was always only ever supposed to be one movie.
that's fair. Okay. This just came to mind. But since we're talking about horror and part 1, 2, can we talk about it and Stephen King?
I'm not a
No,
fan.
no. Not the movies. The Stephen King novels.
Oh.
Because I don't think we've
Never
ever
read
talked
'em.
about that. I haven't read them, but Stephen King's a fucking pervert.
What what's in the novels that's like pervy?
In the original It, when the kids are all real young, he has multiple pages about them having a giant orgy as 12-year-olds.
Really?
Yeah. No, it stupidly descriptive too. And this is not the first fucking book he's done it in,
Really?
but
That's
it's
disgusting.
fucking yeah,
Where?
no. Barnes and Noble? I don't know.
Like, that's disgusting. Where can I find that?
They did it in the sewer. You can find the book at Barnes and Noble, I think. I don't know.
That's fucked. They're just selling child porn at Barnes and Noble.
It like from what I've heard, it comes out of nowhere. I don't read, obviously. But like it just a broad synopsis from an idiot is basically they're like, "Oh, how do we defeat this clown alien demon thing? I don't know. Let's go make a plan at the house. Before we make the plan, let's just have a fucking orgy as 12-year-olds."
Oh damn! I thought that was at least going to be like some kind of like, oh, we can defeat it by growing up. How do we grow up? Well,
I've heard women grow up by swallowing semen.
yikes, dude. Yikes.
Dude, Stephen King is a weird ass motherfucker.
Oh yeah, yeah, man. I mean, the naked lady in the bathtub in The Shining. What the fuck was that about?
Who doesn't love naked ladies?
Old, wrinkly, nasty, half dead naked ladies.
Yeah, double GILF.
He was into both sides of the spectrum. I think we've been going for quite a while.
Probably.
We should wrap this one.
Wrap it like Stephen King. Don't.
Right. Wrap it like Andrew Tate.
Don't.
Don't. Later, fools.
Wait.
Oh, follow us on Instagram.
Wow.
Don't Tell Me Cast.
Don't Tell Me
Yeah.
Cast on most everything. If it's got the middle finger with a mic on it,
That's us.
you're at the right place.
If it
Also,
still,
we
for
haven't
some
changed
reason,
our
has-
YouTube one.
Yeah, if it still has like a unicorn and like a bunch of weird
Kissy
shit on it.
faces and stupid bullshit.
Soft stuff, super soft.
Super Soft Podcast.
That's what we should have called this, man. Fuck. Yeah, just tell your friends, share, download, subscribe, whatever, leave reviews.
Leave us hate comments. I don't care.
Again, just gonna keep throwing it out there. If you have a podcast and you would like to be on our podcast and or have us on your podcast, we're looking for that. So hit us up.
I did find people to reach out to.
Go.
Anyways, later, bitches.
Later, bitch.
We do a little trolling. It's called we do. We do a little trolling. It's called we do a little trolling.
God, you suck.
A little remix, man.